We left Minnesota and moved to Canada. We expected differences, but frankly, they weren't what we expected.
Today, we're sharing a few of the differences that impact our day-to-day lives, and a couple of others to boot.
The gas station's a little bit different in Canada.
How is it different, Chris?
Everything is in liters. So when you look at the price and you sit there going, what? It's only that per gallon? And then you realize, oh, it's liters. And then basically you have no idea how much it's really going to cost based on what you're used to.
How much smaller than a gallon is a liter?
Wait, do I look like a conversion table boy to you or what?
I think we'll need to include this in our video. We could do the research.
So let's go get some gas.
I prefer to call it fuel. Gas just seems...
Actually, we've noticed up here they call it petrol more than they call it gas. You ever noticed that?
Who have you been in conversation with about the petrol here?
I mean, just like the sign. I've seen more petrol signs than I have gas signs.
Very interesting.
So let's go pump. Let's pump.
Pump it up.
Check these prices out. Those would be awesome prices if we were in the United States. But I don't know if they're awesome here because they're liters per liter. It was approved.
And there's a tiger.
Yes, done. Okay, so we just put $60 in, but then that's not really $60, at least to us. It's really like, what, 50-some dollars?
I think it's closer to 45.
Yeah, so getting used to the money is also kind of hard here because it's always a fraction, about 0.75 of a dollar.
I have to give my perspective on this. When it comes to shopping, I'm like, well, everything's on sale, like 25%. When I see the price, I'm like, well, but it's like 25% off. And because my brain does that, well, it's 25% off. I'm like, well, I better get it. It's like way cheap, but it's not.
That is not how you should approach it. Hey, Melissa, tell us about the money.
This is Canadian money, and this is American money. What do you want to know?
It's way different up here, is it not?
I can see you. Oh, and this one, I can see you.
That is so worth coming up to Canada for, to see through the money.
You effed with my thing. Let's try this again.
Okay.
I can see you. I can see you. Nope, can't see through the American dollars.
Should we go on to the next thing that's different about money in Canada?
What's the next thing?
Well, it's not necessarily it's different, but when you come up to Canada, you've got to get a Canadian bank account. You just can't use your American bank account when you're up here. You kind of can, but you want to have a Canadian account.
Here's the thing, if you were to use your American account in Canada, you get hit with all kinds of extra charges, which means nothing's on sale.
That is true, so you don't want extra charges. So what you want to do is set up a Canadian account. However, if you want to move money from your US account to your Canadian account, you probably want to go to a bank that lets you have both, where you can get a US account and then you get a Canadian account, and then they've got this cool little feature that you go, send money across the border. Doesn't cost you anything, no fees when you transfer the money. That's what we did.
Okay, but hold on. Then this really confusing thing happened at the bank. As I remember it, the personal banker that we were working with asked if we wanted credit or debit cards. And we went, well, debit. But then when we got our debit cards, we realized we couldn't use them to make any online purchases, be it ordering DoorDash or anything.
So what you have to do is you got to call the bank and say, hey, can I get a virtual debit card? I want to make online purchases. And then they'll go, oh, we'll send you a virtual debit card. And then you can use it for online purchases, but you can only use it for those types of purchases.
So when I go shopping online, I use my virtual debit card. And when I go shopping in the store, I have my regular debit card. So you might need both. Did we mention the health insurance? Up here in Canada, we're paying 75 Canadian dollars each month. Back home in the States, we were paying about $1,300 a month. Unbelievable. Oh, exit 50 kilometers per hour.
Difficult thing about driving is I really have no idea if I'm going over the speed limit or not, because you'll see it in kilometers. So it just said 60 kilometers there, and I look down and I'm like, there's kilometers on my speedometer, but I can barely read them. So I never know how fast I'm going.
You never know how fast you're going?
Well, I know how fast I'm going if I was in the United States.
But you weren't just driving like 60 miles per hour right there, were you?
No, if I see a 60 on the sign, I don't go for 60 miles per hour. I never did make that mistake.
Is there anything else you would like to add, sir?
That's all I got, girl. That's all I got.
Chris, you were 6 kilometers per hour over the speed limit.
But when I saw that sign, I looked down and it said 30 miles per hour. So is it about half maybe? So if I see 100, I can be going 50. If I see 200, I can be going 100 miles per hour.
I don't think we'll see 200 kilometers per hour. And I also have a suspicion that the halving it is not quite right.
Every time I see metric signs like this, I wish they would have kept us going on the metric system back in the 70s. Would have been so much better. When we moved in, this was a little different. Our thermostat is in Celsius. Takes a little bit for the brain to calculate, but about 20 degrees Celsius is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So during the wintertime, we kind of had it around there. But it takes a little bit to get used to.
Chris has asked me to share a few things about donuts while I hold on to a bag of bagels. Here's something that's different. Montreal-style bagels. You can only find them in Canada. They're a little sweeter than your typical bagel. They're amazing. We get ours from rosemary, rock salt. And the big difference in how they're made, as far as I understand it, is that Montreal-style bagels are boiled in honey water.
They are amazing because they're like chewy. It's not like you have to fight it to take a bite. It's just like you bite, it comes apart, but then it's chewy. It is an amazing bagel.
And I do want to make sure I let you know that if we find out more information about what goes into the magic of Montreal-style bagels, we will be sure to post about it on our website. We're not drinking a Bloody Mary. Nope, it's a Caesar. If you ask a Canadian, they'll tell you it's an improvement on the Bloody Mary. We agree. What's the difference? It has clamato juice, a mix of clam and tomato juice, not straight tomato juice.
Hail Caesar! Honey, come here.
Is it that time?
This is important. We have to talk about something.
We have major research. We have launched an investigation. You noticed something missing in Canada.
Here's what I noticed, honey. When we were checking out like our groceries at the grocery store, I would look at the candy counter and I was like, oh my gosh, the candy bars are weird here. What's going on?
Honey, are they weird or are they just different?
They were different, actually.
So this is something different. The coffee crisp.
Yeah, I'd never seen that one before.
And
I'd never seen that one before.
the crispy crunch.
I do like the name.
And then there's the Big Turk.
The Turk. Who's?
No, it's Big Turk.
Big Turk. There's no Big Turk in the United States.
And Chris, what did you notice about an American like candy?
What did I notice?
Well, about what we thought was an American candy.
I thought that was kind of weird. At first I was like, oh look, Reese's, they're here. But it's not Reese's.
This is not possessed by Reese. It just is.
It just is.
I don't know about this. We need to launch an investigation. Are we going to taste these?
Yeah, we're gonna. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
Honey, commence the investigation. Go!
I know where I want to start.
You want to start with the crispy crunch. All right, let's go.
Yes, because I think it's like a Butterfinger, and it's been so long since I've had a Butterfinger. Oh my gosh. So I broke off a piece.
What would you say that looks like?
I think it looks more like a Heath bar. Well, I don't know. It looks like a blend between a Heath and a Butterfinger.
Hold on.
Oh my God, my mouth is watering. Are you serious?
Hang on, before you try
It's watering.
Just a second. How about this? When you bite it and try it, do not tell me what it tastes like. Because I don't want to have any other preconceived notions of what it's going to taste like.
Okay.
You can say if it's good. It's crunchy.
I'm not saying anything.
This is weird. It's like you got a crunchy coating around some other crunchy goodness. All right, here we go. All right, I'd say it's kind of like a Butterfinger, wouldn't you?
I felt like it's more like a Heath.
It's not a Heath because a Heath is more of a toffee flavor.
I think it's its own thing.
It's its own thing. I think it's a crispy crunch.
I think it is. I think we're trying to impose our American ideals on a perfectly good Canadian candy bar. What were we thinking?
Next.
You ready? Chris has decided we'll be doing the Big Turk next. It feels weird. Oh, it is. It's like fruity stuff inside of chocolate. I don't know, honey.
Weird. Okay, well, here we go. Do it. Not a fan. Don't say what it tastes like.
Here's the thing, is I don't tend to like fruity candies. I was never a fan of gummy bears. I only got them as a kid because I didn't want to feel left out with the other kids, but I never liked them. I just ate them to be cool. I don't really like Turkish Delight, and so, yeah, no Big Turk for me.
Hey, Canada, I'm impressed you've got the Big Turk. I don't think I'll be buying them up, though. What's next?
Well, I think we've got to go coffee, Chris.
All right, so Melissa has tried her coffee crisp. She's thinking about it. What do you think it tastes like?
I think it tastes like wafers inside of chocolate.
Do you sense the coffee flavor?
I think it's subtle, but I think I've also had lots of different bites of chocolate, so that might be skewing things for me.
I definitely taste the coffee. There's no candy bar that I've had, a regular candy bar in the United States that tastes like that. I would say all three of those candy bars are unique.
I would have to agree.
So the last thing we have to do is we've got the Reese. That looks very much like a Reese's peanut butter cup. We still want to see if the peanut butter flavor reminds us of the Reese's peanut butter flavor of the United States. So here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Here's something that's different. On packaging, there is French as well as English. And it's so great on this package. So king size, grand format, big cup, grand mouille, stuffed with rempli de. I did my best on my enunciations. I took French in high school and I need glasses. So I'm doubting that it was perfect.
You did a good job, hon. She is a grandma. It's hard to see. So like in the States, we've noticed that there's a lot of packaging that has both English and Spanish. But up in Canada, all the packaging has both English and French. It's kind of interesting.
Oh, so there are 2 cups in here.
Okay, here we go. Wait a second, you're not gonna let me have any now? It's that good?
No, but you know how on the first bite of the Reese's Pieces you get like all the chocolate, right? You have to get a couple of bites in to get to the peanut butter equanimous or whatever the hell it is. I need to get to more peanut butter.
Excuse me. It looks the same colors. I say it tastes the same. It's that good Reese's peanut butter, which I love. So that's pretty good.
Wait, the Reese's here are way better than they are in the States. Or should I say Reese?
There are more candy bars we could have tried, but we don't want to.
Well, as you were saying that, it hit me that we are here for at least a little bit longer, and it would be nice to get some recommendations.
Good job. Double thumbs up, yum.
Please comment below on which candy bar we should try next.
What the heck? That's not even childproof. Here's something that's different. I've noticed cones on top of stumps, and it was like, what? So I thought maybe it's for safety. That would make sense. And then I saw this. What the heck? In the United States, they call that a garbage disposal. In Canada, they called it garburator. That's different. What are these mews? I noticed them all over the place.
I don't know, hon.
At first, I thought they were alleys. Then I saw this. It's called a lane. Then I thought, well, maybe it's some kind of courtyard between 2 apartment buildings.
Honey, you're getting fixated.
And then I saw this. It looked like the others, so it must be a mews. But there's no sign that says it's a mews. I'm so confused.
Honey, can you just look it up?
I did look it up. This doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, hon. Can somebody help Chris out on this one? Please comment below. And while you're at it, go ahead and like, subscribe, and ring that bell.
I'm so confused.